Hello, welcome to another Dams TV. This is Monday question time, but it's actually Thursday afternoon because I'm going on holiday tomorrow and I'm not be able to do a Monday's questions. So I've found some questions that I'm going to do now and put it out for Monday. So really, it is Monday question time. The first question is, someone asked, have I ever used extra time sachets? Have I ever had white marks in the boards? White marks after, on my skimming. And to be honest, I haven't used a great lot of extra time. What he's referring to is this extra time. I have got a sachet in the van, but I've recently switched to Storm additives, slow pace, mellow man, slow pace. Oh, Mr. Soft. Anyway, no, I've used it a couple of times. First time I used it, I did think it left this multi-finish a bit funny. And I couldn't really put my finger on what it was that was funny. But I just thought to myself, you know what? Why is that so funny? I don't get it. But anyway, so yeah, I haven't had any white marks in my skimming at all, so don't know a clue. Don't know what that is, I'm sorry. I think it was Andrew Mills, but I'm not sure. Andrew Mills asked, I think it's Andrew Mills anyway, he asked me, he's skimming a window wall, but the over skimming, the wall's quite bad, it needs re-skimming, but the reveals are quite good and it's got blinds on and I don't think he wants to mess with it. So he's asking, what do I do? Do I use a splay bead? Now I wouldn't really use a splay bead because there's always a gap between the splay bead then and the window reveal and you still have to fill that in. So if you're going to use a splay bead, you may as well use a normal bead and fill round and blend in. But if you don't want to put beads on at all, you can always just blend in, just blend into the sort of existing and don't put any beads on and just blend it in around the window. It can be done, because usually that bit is a bit thicker anyway, so does that make sense? Where the window wall and the bead is, there's a bit of a hollow usually and you can fill it in and it looks all right. I've done that before, just blended into a bead, so. It's all obviously horses for courses. Sometimes you can't do it, sometimes you can, but it can be done. That's what I would do. I would blend in round the reveals. So Craig Meadows, he's been on the podcast. He's from Canada. I used to live in Wigan and he comes home now and again. He's coming home in October. We're going out for a meal. Me and his missus and my missus, we're going to have a meal out one night, I think. And he come up with a question and he said that, have I ever bought something, a tool or some sort of equipment that I thought was a gimmick and now I can't sort of do without? And I can't think of anything that was a gimmick that I bought because I wouldn't really buy a gimmick. I hope I would see through it and go, hang on a minute, that's a bit of a gimmick, I'm not buying that, that's going to be rubbish. The only thing I can think of as in a game changer in plastering is not the speed skims, is the actual the flexible trowels. And first of all, we used to make plastics out like on a T-piece out of dry verge or exit signs or buckets, anything that was plastic we could find that was thin enough, we would use them. And it was a game changer. To be fair, it meant you could instead of giving the wall the final trowel, you could give it just one pass with the plastic and it would be really shiny. You'd be like, oh yes, bit of trickery, you know what I mean, when you're on site. So I suppose the plastics came out then, a plastic trowel, and I'm sure one of my subscribers had a hand in developing the Ox one. Was it the Ox one? No, the Rafina one. Can't quite remember. You'll have to get in the comments. Get in the comments and tell me which one it was, if you're listening, if you're watching. But then the sort of flexible trowels came out, and they are a game changer. They're a must if you know how to use one. You see people using them, and you're going over it too early. Use it for the last thing. People put on with them, and people say, "Oh, I put on with them, it's fine." But if you want to do that, and you can get a good finish, that is totally fine. But all I do, put on with my trowel that I'm breaking in, put it on, lay it down, then I switch to my broke-in trowel, go over it with that a couple of times, trail it up, and then the last one, or maybe last two, I hit it with the flexible trowel. Nelaflex, Ox Ultraflex, Marshalltown make one, you know, Nella make one. So they are a game changer. You can get them in different sizes. Don't go too big. Just get with the normal size, a bit bigger than your finishing trowel. So if you notice a video, I did a landing wall, that was Nelaflex, it was Ultraflex, Ox Ultraflex, that one was. Maybe I should buy a Marshalltown and try that one, because I could kind of do with one now. Because the Ox, I either buy another Ox trowel or I buy something else. The Nelaflex, to be fair, that was a great bit of kit till I broke it. But we'll not go into that. Actually, I used to put it behind my seat, and the wife drove the van and she moved the seat forward, and I've got in and slammed the seat back and it snapped the handle off the trowel. Was wounded. Not her fault, my fault for not checking, but anyway. So I could do it, but I might buy one of them actually, because if I was to buy another one, I probably would go with the Nelaflex, because it was a good bit of kit. Carl, get the Nella. Used to be a fella on site used to shout to his apprentice, Carl, get the Nella. Give it a Nella, Carl. So that's it. And the next question that someone asked me, so basically these questions are questions that are perhaps a little bit too much for the
inside of the video,
for the inside of video, to be putting on like the answer is too long for me to type, because I can't be doing with typing. So basically these answers and questions, these questions that I'm answering are for answer time, and obviously I can talk in depth a bit about them. And the next one is, do I always lay down? Yes, I do always lay down. I always lay down with the same stuff, and I put it on and I lay down with the same stuff. When I say always, I don't always. That's wrong. That's the wrong. I always lay down 9 times out of 10 with the same stuff. If I've got something that's a bit big and maybe 10 or 12 boards on a ceiling, I'll mix one up to the nuts, put it on, while Liam is mixing another batch, another stuff to lay down. I'll sort of flatten that quick, and then I'll lay it all down with fresh stuff. Well, that's purely to help me with the size of the roof. But now what we could do is just mix 2 bags with this stuff in. Slow pace. Put 2 scoops of that in, and I'm pretty convinced I could do any size, any ceiling, any shape, anywhere. Taj Mahal if you want. So yeah, that answers that. Some people think that I don't lay down, but I do. I always lay down. Second coat, whichever you want to call it. And the last topic that I did think of is that I've not seen or heard of any young lads coming through, certainly plastering, joinery. You know, you would get a fresh bit of meat on the jobs, you know, a young lad, apprentice or a joiner's apprentice. You get electricians, you do get electricians coming through, because I think it's a clean trade, electrics. It's one where you've got to do a bit of thinking, I think. You've got to do an exam, you've got to go to college. So I think you do get apprentices coming through as electricians. But I don't see many plumbers, and I don't see many, I don't see any plasterers, and I don't see any painting and decorators. I don't hear of anyone like that who's doing an apprenticeship. So get in the comments and let me know what you think. You know, have you seen some? Do you know? What's your opinion? Because I don't think it's not like they don't want to do it. Because I ask myself the question, why have I not got an apprentice? Well, I suppose I'm going to have to find the money for him, and I haven't got the money for him. I haven't got the time, I haven't got the work, and I haven't got the money. And I can't really let an apprentice loose on a customer's flat wall. So it's an hard one, isn't it? It's an hard one to take an apprentice on and try and teach him. My latest apprentice is Liam, Skinface, and he's done. His time served. He could buy a van tomorrow and off he goes on his own stuff. A matter of fact, while I'm away, he's going out in the van and finishing a few jobs off, and there'll be no filming though. he won't do any videos for me. But he is going out and about, and he's plastering a living room. There's a hall stairs and landing he could skim if he gets to it. There's all sorts he can do, so he's kind of finished. But he wants more money now because he's finished. And why would he not want more money? He's done his time. He's served his apprenticeship. I think bills go up, so of course he wants more money. And that kind of concludes this Monday's stroke Thursday's questions and answers with Dams from Dams TV. Please get in the comments, give me a thumbs up, get some more questions written down for next time, and I'll see you on the next one after my holidays. I might do a sneaky little holiday video for you. You know, just a quick show you where I am. I'm going to Burton on the Water near Clarkson's farm. The farmer's dog, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go to Diddley Squat farm shop. So yeah, should be good. See you later.